Hey, yo, what it is, man? We back with another one. My name is BT, and this is Burn After Rolling. Today, we got a special guest. Know what I mean, the 6-foot wonder, 6'1" shorty. Know what I mean, one of the baddest shorties out here getting it. Know what I mean, my girl Sinna. What's the vibes, girl?
Nothing much. What's good, bro? Thank you for having me.
Yo, what's on? What's going on, man? Yo, first and foremost, I'm gonna answer a question that you asked me from the beginning, but I kind of danced around it.
Sure.
How did I find you?
Yeah, I was curious.
So, me and hers on the Field app.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Me and
I
her-
got a little funnel. I was wondering where you hopped on it, you know?
So for those who don't know, Field is kind of like it's a little, you kind of can go into the lifestyle a little bit. It's more for like threesomes and,
Kinks.
groups, kinks
Yeah.
and shit like that. So I read her bio. I'm like, oh, she's all right. Let me see what's. Then I read the bio and I'm like, OnlyFans shit. I'm like, you know what? Let's have a little conversation. Let me see what's good with her. Let me just try to shoot my shot. Her Instagram was on the bio. Let me shoot my shot. See if she wants to get up on here. But that's your explanation of how I found you.
The origin story. Yeah, and now look at us now.
I know. It's
Starts from the
amazing.
internet.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Shout out to the internet.
Facts. Connecting people worldwide. No, I love that. I find a lot of people, even like subscribers on OnlyFans, like I ask them like where they find me and like, what brought their attention to me and stuff. And like my first probably in like my marketing funnel, that's like the first stop for a lot of people.
What, the apps or social media?
I market my social medias on the apps. I do like Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, stuff like that. I put my social media in the bio and then I'll send people to my social media and from there I'm funneling them onward, But Field I use is the only one that I actually use for like personal use as well.
Your bio is very direct. Like
Which one did you see?
Well, I saw. I mean, listen, I couldn't go and find you on any other apps, but
yeah.
What's cool? Your bio was very direct. It said I mainly use this for content and to link with other creators and stuff. So, being that the bio says that, how many times do you find like a lucky couple, lucky dude, lucky girl, whatever the fuck it may be, just to do some shit on the personal time?
For personal time, I mean...
You talking to the mic a little bit?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so for personal time, I mean, it depends on where I'm at. We all go through seasons. Like, I'm a roster kind of girl. So if I have a nice, reliable, couple of people and life is good, then I'm chilling. And then sometimes people get cut, and then you have to go and hold auditions again and return to the apps and
what's
check it out.
What's your audition process?
My audition process, I don't know. It's women's intuition. Like I can't put it into words. It's just like you see how they speak a little bit. You see how the banter is back and forth through the internet and everything, and then just where it goes from there, where the conversation goes. Like if you have chemistry and stuff, I can't really like define it on like specific things.
Do we ever have a shallow? Like where it's just like, oh, this nigga or this bitch kind of bad. Like, damn, I might just need to add that to the for the belt clip. You know what I mean?
So like we all have like you can say like you have a specific type, but we all have like certain things that we like, right? So someone may hit because they're 6'4" jacked. Someone else might hit straight off personality. They're telling jokes and like I just like the their demeanor through the profile. You only get this snapshot of the person. So it's a lot of intuition because even there's people where you come across their profile and you look at it and you're like, I would never be interested in this person. But then you meet them, like if you were to like meet them out and about, maybe their personality and like the way they are, they're dancing and their friends aren't, and you like to dance and you connect over that. But just looking at a picture or profile, it's hard to tell. So it's guessing anyway,
I was gonna say like it kind of takes away. Like I'll tell you me personally, like I've never really been like a slide in the DMs kind of guy. I don't think I'm DM cute. But I'm cute enough in person to be that funny to kind of get me over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like you can kind of work like, those ins and outs. Yeah. And like I said, sometimes it can kind of take away. You know what I mean? It kind of can give a shoot opportunity down before you can even get it.
You're saying in line or online or in person?
Just well, more or less just, let's just say mainly just being like an online nigga. Like, I'm just going to get on my girls through Tinder. Like, I know mad people who be doing they just straight do apps. And I'm like, bro, like, you kind of closing yourself off to, like, organic shit.
Yeah.
Like, not for nothing.
It's also your ability to market yourself, because whether you're, a content creator or whatever it may be, like, you don't even have to be that. If you can take nice pictures of yourself, you can write a little witty one paragraph thing, what you're looking for, you're straightforward about it, and you can make a good profile for yourself, then I think that you'll clean up better,
But your profile could not be you.
Totally.
That's the, what I mean?
It could be a lie anyway.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so hard to just go off that like snapshot of a person, know?
But enough about that a little bit. Let's reel it back in about you now.
Sure, yeah.
So you're from Smithtown, right?
I'm from Medford originally, so right around the corner,
So
Pat Med.
You went to Pat Med?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up, and what kind of kid were you?
I'm the only girl of 4 kids, so I grew up in a very like male-dominated household. A lot of rough housing, a lot of sports, a lot of manual labor. My dad liked to say that he had kids for free labor, so we were definitely on the workforce, But it was cool. It was like, like I said, it was rowdy. My parents had us all young and stuff. So they were growing up while we were growing up. I used to go like dirt bike riding with my dad and his friends. They were like 26, or something, or maybe like early 30s at that point if I was old enough. But yeah.
It was more like you guys had more like a friendship, parent, kid relationship.
And they were just active. They were active. They were definitely authoritative figures, but they were, it was... it was good times when we were like first growing up, like as kids. Yeah. Okay.
So what kind of kid were you like though?
What was I like? I don't know. I used to be really awkward because I'm really tall.
You're tall, yeah.
I'm actually 6'1". Like I'm not a liar.
Can you get a little zoom out and can we get a stand up real quick?
Want me to stand up real quick?
Yeah, we gotta get a little 360, man. This is crazy, man. This is my girl ready for the WNBA, man. Let's get it. My girl ready to go, man. Listen, she might fuck around, cross you up, post you up. You know what I mean? Hook shot. You know what I mean? You never know.
What's crazy is I literally have never played basketball.
Never?
Never in my life.
Volleyball?
Volleyball, yeah.
That's lit, though.
Softball, mostly.
Listen, she might spike your ass. You keep playing around.
Who knows? you never know. I like to tell people with short boyfriends that I'll dunk on their man. Even though I can't.
You ever dealt with a short dude?
Yeah. All my exes are shorter than me. All my exes are like 5'8" or whatever.
Is it like an empowerment thing?
For me? I don't know. I just don't think... So, like I said, when I was younger, I was like really awkward. I was not confident in myself. It took till like my early 20s to feel that way. And when I was younger, because of that awkwardness, I wasn't social. I was not successful dating. No boys had crushes on me, And so I feel like I didn't want to limit myself because I'm 6'1". So if I'm gonna date a guy that's taller than me, that's 6'2" and up.
Yeah.
I'm pigeonholing myself when I'm already struggling. You know what I mean? So I feel like early on I was just open-minded about height because I was desperate for attention. Probably.
I feel, and there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we all kind of seek validation in our own ways. You know what I mean? And do certain things.
And you shouldn't care about too much physical stuff anyway. You know what I mean? So.
I feel that 100%. So when you said you were really awkward. You were clumsy too, or no?
I mean, I was athletic, so like I could like get down with stuff, but I was definitely awkward. Definitely
Where did you kind of transition into like modeling from the beginning?
So I was literally telling Shannon this story earlier. So when I was younger, my dad wanted me to be like more of like a tough girl, like tomboy.
Yeah.
I had tried out for cheerleading, I remember, and he was like, "You're not doing that." People told me, my parents all the time, that I should be in modeling, and they were like, "She's not doing that." So it was never something that I really had access to when I was like still like a minor, because my parents weren't supportive. And then I went to college, I went away to school, and when I came home from school, I got approached by a photographer who was like, "You're gorgeous, we should shoot, yada yada." And I did my first shoot with him, Henrock, actually.
Oh man, that's my son.
Do you know
there.
him? Yeah, Henrock. Yeah. So he was my first shoot ever, and that was probably like 2016, something like that, 2014 maybe. Yeah. And then after that, you post on Instagram, and then people start hitting you up, and then it just went from there.
No shade to Henrock. I'm not. This ain't for specifically Henrock, but how many people actually hit you up and actually want to work, opposed to hit you up and want to fuck?
I mean, the world may never know. The older you get and the more experience you get, you go through the trials and stuff, and you see people with bad intentions, and you get better at weeding them out. Again, I was saying that we were talking about this morning, where it's like somebody hits you up to shoot, and they either want to shoot with you because they think you guys can collab on something really cool, or they think that you're hot and they want to be in your presence and essentially stare at you through the camera. A huge red flag is them sending all the pictures raw. You didn't even edit them. You literally just gawked at me through the camera the whole, for the hour or two or whatever, and didn't do any legwork. There's no artistic energy, but you can tell people like off the rip. Like I said, the more you do it, the easier it is to kind of weed those people out.
And that definitely probably teaches you like that. It is good to jump on almost every opportunity, but not every opportunity is really necessarily going to get you forward, and sometimes you might fuck around and get duped.
100%. And that's how, that's kind of how you learn, And then once I got deeper into the community, there were definitely like model safe spaces where there'd be like large group chats of young women who were doing essentially what I was doing, which was just, working with whatever local photographers were down to collaborate for free. Because I'm not trying to, blow hundreds of dollars for a couple hours and stuff. It's all very like picture for picture is kind of like what they would say. Like we both get work for our Instagram, and we both just show up and no one's getting paid essentially. But what was I saying?
You were just talking about doing collabs and shit like that with people.
But like knowing when someone's like
knowing when it's like when niggas is weirdos or.
Yeah. So like, the safe spaces. So like there'd be like group chats with women doing, the picture for picture thing in the area and stuff. And so we'd kind of like, this guy hit me up. Has anybody worked with him?
Stay away from him.
No, and there's dudes that are like that 100%, and so having that community aspect is definitely really helpful, because you could, maybe think you have a good read on somebody, but they've had actual horrible experiences with them, and, we can protect each other by, supporting each other. For sure.
What are some misconceptions about models in general?
I think the main ones is probably just from media that everyone feels is like stupid, getting by on looks, maybe nepotism even too, that like someone else got you into this.
I mean, I feel like nepotism is part of the entertainment industry in general, just because like everyone knows each other. Yeah. Like, and you had to kind of know someone to get to X. You know what I mean? So
100%.
Not to say that you've had nothing but nepotism, but there's always a piece of it somewhere.
You can never be without it to a certain degree. Yeah.
I mean,
it's networking. It's just like in-house networking,
I mean, listen, if a shorty was out there looking like me, built like me, looked like me, beard and all that, and she's on the cover of Vogue, she's got to be someone's cousin, someone's son. That's real nepotism,
I mean, obviously there's those circumstances where it's like who doesn't matter what you're capable of, you'll get the job or you'll, get the opportunity or whatever. But I feel like a lot of times it's just, it gets you in the door, and then you kind of have to show up to bring it home, know.
So you finished college too?
Nah.
Okay. Nah. So can you walk me through like maybe the story through college and why you dropped out?
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I was very academic. I was involved in sports, involved in school activities, stuff like that. Maybe like senior year of high school was when I started to like drink and smoke and all that. And then I graduated, applied to school. I was not on good terms with my family at the time.
Where'd you go? Sorry.
No, you're good. And so I just wanted to go away. So I went to Delhi, which is upstate by like Oneonta.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my nephew went there probably around the same time as you.
Yeah, what's the name?
Stephen Smith.
Stephen Smith. Maybe if I saw a picture. It's been a long time.
Oh, it's only Delhi. Yep.
Delhi.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a small school.
Green school.
Yeah,
right?
green and yellow. Yeah.
That's
something
funny.
like that. Yeah, but so I went there initially for culinary arts. And when I got there, I wanted to be like a pastry chef. I was a vegetarian at the time. I wanted to be a pastry chef, like do like the cake decorating and the fondant and all that shit. I had like little experience, but that's what I felt like I wanted to do.
You wanted to make dick cakes?
Yeah, all types of shit. I was gonna get weird with it. But yeah, so I went and it's all like preliminary like cooking classes you have to do, and like I didn't even eat meat, and they had me like deboning chickens and shit.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't even like trying the stuff I was making, and I was also partying a lot, and I stopped going to class, and I essentially failed out from attendance and stuff. And so I came home, I got my grades up, I went back and did business administration for a semester, and then I just
said fuck it.
Came home. I've done classes on and off since then. But it's just never felt like a major priority. Like I've never felt like a large conviction the way some people do career-wise. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it. What's the plan? How do people get there? Like, I've never really felt like that tenacious about, like, something career-wise.
I feel that.
You know? So I'm like, why am I going to dump all this bread into something that I'm not even sure about? I've switched once already. I wasted that 10 grand. You know, like I don't come from like money or anything like that. And there's people out here in $300,000 worth of debt. Insane stuff. I think the nationwide average is like 120,000 or so. It's insane.
On God.
You know, so I was like, fuck it.
I say one thing like about college and that whole route and everything. Like, if you're not sure what you want to do, like take the time. It's okay to not go to school. It's okay to kind of figure
wait until
yourself
you know.
out. Yeah,
they rush you. You're like 18. They're like, sign these loans. Fucking pick something. You're wasting time. Get into the fucking, you know, to be a cog in the machine.
You know, well, to their defense, you know, the youth. They say youth is wasted on the young. Like the youth, like you know, that shit is something that's so precious. Like those years are so essential, and like, you know, you can essentially build your foundation and be ready, be good by the time you're 25, 26, or you can be motherfucking, you know, not build your foundation till you're 35, 36. You know what I'm saying? It's all a matter of when you want to do it. And there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing wrong with kind of, you know, stumbling by, because we all develop at different times. There's probably a million things you haven't even tried or even thought about.
I was just going to say, I feel like so much of it is timing. Like, how many things are you even aware of by the time you're, you know, 16, 17, when you have to start thinking about college? Like, I didn't even know that certain career paths existed or how to even pursue them. You know, I'm like going based off like what I've seen on TV and who I see in my real life, you know, and who do you see? Teachers, whatever your parents or guardians do, their friends, like grocery store workers and people who work at, you know, like local businesses and stuff. But that's the only examples you really have.
Especially being out here, like in Long Island, you really only gonna see a certain certain demographic of workers. And like I just had this conversation yesterday. This necessarily isn't the best place to flourish as a creator or as a entrepreneur, because there's no like the energy is just not built for creativeness, you know, just to kind of, you know, lead yourself. You know, it's kind of, you know, you, like I said, you said blue collar, or you're fucking high key, you're blue collar, or you're damn near a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Or a nurse or some shit like that, you know?
Totally.
And, you know, not everybody wants to do that. And not for nothing, like, that's another thing. I feel like a lot of people get stuck in things that, or they just settle for things that just sound good. Or because, like you said, you know, because their parents, because teachers and people pressure them to, you need to do something now. Yeah. And it's
or they just don't care enough to, you know, like for me, like I don't know what it is, but like I would feel unfulfilled at my deathbed if I just went and got a job at the IRS for the benefits.
As an accountant.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that like kills my soul, but other people don't feel that way. The stability, the other things outside of work that they're able to do with that stability, you know, family, house, like all, you know, whatever their goals are. If it fulfills them and they don't mind doing that job, then carry on. I personally have never felt that like I could, you know, do that, you know.
Me and my mother just had this conversation the other day, and I'm just like, Ma, like, what happens to people? Like, where do people just go in life to where we just settle for things and just, you know, we just give up? Like we be essentially just, you know, you forget about the child that existed, the child, the inner child in all of us. We just throw that shit away. The dreamer, the, you know, motherfucker want to be a scientist, motherfucker throw that shit out. Want to be an astronaut. Like, yo, you can actually do that shit. Like, especially, you know, when you're young, you can do anything you fucking want to do.
Yeah.
You just can't let the world jade you. You can't let the world necessarily dictate how you're going to move. You have to control, you know, your actions. You know, you can't let the world control you, you know?
Definitely. No, I agree with that. I think that like we all become like, you know, you get worn down over time, you know, and when you're young, you're like fed all this like adult material through the media and stuff. And you spend your childhood wishing that you're an adult and that you're independent and outside of these authoritative restraints, you know, and then you reach your 20s and you just want to prove that you're an adult, you know? And then I think once you start to reach your late 20s, you start to sort of go back to that inner child and be like, no, I want to play and have fun and, you know, and
it
joke
depends.
Around. And
it depends, because I believe that, so I got, you know, I got some friends that are like kind of super like into the church, but they kind of act like, you can see them lusting, you can see them wanting to drink, wanting to smoke, wanting to be involved in the nonsense.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, obviously.
Totally.
I tell, I had a friend, and he's a little older than me, and I used to tell him, like, bro, what are you going to wait till you 50 years old to finally to crash out on your wife?
Yeah.
To finally to crack because you've wanted to do all this I used to come back to work on a Monday and tell him all this wild shit I would do over the weekend and all just the wild shit I was just doing on the daily. Like he was he used to witness me and I would see it in him like damn, I wish I could do this shit. And it'd be like, yo bro, why don't you get it over with right now? Because you're not getting any younger, and like I said, you get to a point, like I said, where you just fucking crack. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is why I think motherfuckers become alcoholics and drug addicts and shit like that. Yeah. Like sometimes, in some cases,
you almost like don't give it to yourself. And
you suppress yourself. You suppress yourself, and you gotta kind of let yourself fly and learn yourself.
Yeah. See, I refuse to like put boundaries on myself. I'm very big on like freedom of self. Whether it's careers, relationships, whatever it may be. Like, I don't know if you've heard, but we're all going to die. Mm-hmm. And we have a limited amount of time on this earth to do the things that make us happy, to have as much of a positive impact as we can for ourselves and our own life experience and also the people around us and stuff. And so, you have to prioritize that. You do. I'm 29, and when I turned 29 in September, and leading up to it, if you spoke to me, I would have sworn that it didn't. Who cares? Time's an illusion. Like, I could be turning 72 if we counted the calendar different. Yeah. But in the months that have followed, like, it does sort of leave you with this introspective, like, like, oh, I'm getting older, and like, I'm 29, I've got no kids, and like, you start thinking all these things, and like, what am I doing with my life? And I haven't even been to Europe, and and all this stuff. But that's why you have to prioritize it, because I don't want to feel this way when I'm 39. So you kind of have to live in the now a little bit and give yourself the things that you want within reason. Like,
well, you say like, you're 29 with no kids, no whatever, you've never been here and there. Do you make like, is having a kid or like getting a man like a priority in your life?
To be honest, I feel it's like in my heart, I feel more of a conviction to have kids than I do to find like a long-term partner. Yeah. But I wouldn't have kids without a long-term partner. And so that's sort of my conundrum, like I want to have kids, but for me personally, and I mean, no offense to people who are passionate about having children of their own, but for me, it's not about whether I want kids or not. It's about whether I have a support system in place and stable income and stable housing to bring a child into the world. It's 100%. Not about me wanting a fucking kid. It's not about me. It's about that fucking kid. So I'm in no rush, and if the day never comes for me to have my own biological children, I hope at some point I can adopt or foster or something, but it's not about me and my timeline and what I want and stuff. And I would want a partner that feels the same way. I would want a partner that is just as passionate about being a good parent as I would be, and I'm not gonna like ask for that. That's something someone should offer. So here I am.
I'll say this, man. I to piggyback with what you said, I personally grew up poor.
Yeah.
And I'm big on breaking cycles and not being your last generation, not being your mother and your father, your parents raised you to be better than them, not to be them.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you completely. You can. Oh, I thought you was hitting the fucking.
I was perfect.
Sorry. Use this. Fuck it. Burping the camera. Fuck it.
I got you.
But growing up poor, like the things I experienced, the uncertainties, just a lot of the shit that I experienced, like I never want my kid to go through that.
Totally.
Like, so just having a kid, like I always tell her friends, I always tell people in general, if you got to become your best self before you start just looking like, you don't look like when I asked you was looking for a man like a priority.
Yeah.
I don't think looking like you just need to look to become a better person than yesterday.
It's like a butterfly. Like if you're like, land on me, it's gonna be like, get away from me, bitch.
Yeah, don't wait for it to come.
When you're at peace and you're calm and you're chilling, then it'll come over and be like, hey, what's up? So.
But so we talked about the modeling thing. So now you make that transition from modeling to the OnlyFans. So what made that pop off?
So I've had other jobs in the past. Like I said, I didn't finish college. So I've been a bartender. I worked at sales offices. I've done like a variety of jobs. My most recent like official 9 to 5 was medical coding, which I got into after COVID. So I've always sort of just like held jobs and stuff, done modeling on the side.
Yeah.
I've always been super into social media and marketing. Like over COVID, I had like an e-commerce business where I was like selling stuff on Shopify and marketing that online and stuff. So that's always sort of been like a personal side hustle interest, is like running like an online business, and a huge motivation. Like I don't really care what I do, but I want remote independent income and I want to make good money.
Yeah.
So because that's freedom.
Yeah.
So that's sort of always been my goal. And after my last job, the medical coding, I was just not feeling it anymore. That was also remote. I was working from home, but I still worked for someone.
Yeah.
So I thought about the OnlyFans. I'm a pretty liberated person in general, but again, I have a bunch of brothers and stuff, and that fear. But the older you get, the more you're like, I'm a grown woman and I'm going to do whatever I want and you can suck my dick. But
you do got to think, I mean, like,
it's hard not to consider it.
It's hard not to factor in them as much as you can say,
totally.
like, I don't give
or
a
even
fuck.
Like my dad's friends, or like, you know what I mean? It's like, of course you have to, but that's sort of like the risk that you take, is that, when you cross that boundary of like, oh, I'm gonna, shoot whatever, create anything really, that, people I love and care about their opinion are gonna see this and what are they gonna think of me? But it would be the same thing if I was like a rock star singing about, what my lifestyle, it's art I create because of my life and what I like to do and stuff. So
what was their reactions when it came out?
I don't know that my parents know or don't know. My older sibling is a very liberated person, and is super supportive. Like I can talk to them about anything really. And then I have dope. 2 younger brothers, and they're like cis hetero white men, and I love them, I adore them, they're great and they're cool and everything, but obviously like they're like a little bit like so.
Well, I mean, like I said, like, damn it, like you said, your dad's friends, like I'm pretty sure your dad's friends may or may not have fuck around subbed.
And that's the thing, or that's the thing, is that it's like you never know. Anyone could really have access to it. Like I can try to limit who sees what and whatever, but at the end of the day, people are gonna find out. I've joked about like if they ever confronted me about it, I'll just lie and say it's like AI, and be like someone's catfishing me and like using my AI identity. I sold it for 10 grand, and now they can use my likeness to create computer generated images of me getting railed out.
So you just put out pictures, or I thought you did videos too.
Yeah, I do videos and stuff.
So how are we gonna explain these videos?
They don't know what AI is, bro.
Nigga said, this is 2K.
They see this video, block my parents.
Nigga said, this is The Sims. It ain't.
Exactly. I'm like, look at it. It's cartoon. Look, you see the way it glitches right there. It's not me.
That's fucking. That's what you know what you got to do. Intentionally add like little glitches.
Yeah, I'll put like a cartoon filter on it, and I'll be like, look, it's fucking, what is it called? Hentai.
Oh my.
Not me, bitch. It's hentai. They're losing their eyesight anyway. It's fine.
I'm crying.
And they still say like YouTube.com, like they're not like the most internet savvy.
I feel that.
I think if anything was gonna happen, it would be someone who's younger who knows me and my family, because it's a lot of neighborhood family friends and stuff. If it was gonna be anything, I feel like it would be someone ratting on me to someone, which I can't help that. And but I'm also not gonna live my life in fear of someone trying to like out me or whatever. Like all my siblings know if they had anything to say to me about it, I'd try the AI thing, and if that didn't go so well,
I'm crying.
Tell me that's not a legitimate.
I mean, to a nigga who's like 16, absolutely not.
No.
To a nigga who's like I'd say like 49 and up, they might jack it.
They might buy it.
They might jack it. Yeah.
So that's line of defense 1.
Okay. Okay.
Stay tuned on how that goes.
So how did your image go over at home though? Like as far as your friends, as far as like did you lose any friends or anything?
So like my long-term friends are supportive of me essentially no matter what. They're also open-minded people in their own right, which is why they're my friends, But not everyone's supportive. People judge. I think there's a lot of people who would define themselves as liberal and accepting and tolerant and all of these things, and are the first people to like throw stuff up online about, you know, the groups that they support and stuff, but on a personal level look down on you and judge you. And it's the whole, you know, worth
it's
being
all good
equated.
when it's all good when it doesn't directly affect you and yours.
Exactly. So, and it comes out in like microaggressions, because in this day and age, it's hard to just say like, I don't like you because of X, Y, Z, because you're gonna be like
sucking any dick on camera lately, bitch.
Exactly. Like, how dare you? I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that I personally offended you, but whatever. What are you gonna do? But that's the thing, is it weeds people out, you know. I think the dating scene is a little complicated and stuff, but like I said, I'm also not really looking for like emotional, like long-term relationship stuff right now. So it's like I see how it affects it, but it's not really like, you know, having like a negative impact on my life at this point, you know.
Do you believe that your attention seeking that you had as a young kid, do you think that kind of veered your career path into the way it did?
I think that it definitely built like a praise kink in me, that I like being told and reassured and validated and stuff, you know?
So can I, what is praise kink? I gotta learn.
That's like the good girl shit. So like a praise kink means, so typically like there's obviously, you know, a ton of like fluid intricacies and nuances, but like essentially I feel like you either like praise or you like degradation.
So like a good girl.
Yeah, or like you like her, or it could even be like a, you look so pretty, or like, I love the way this is, or you do that so good, or, you know, anything along those lines. But it's like you like that validation, reassured, like knowing that you're pleasing somebody. Essentially.
Are you more on the sub side?
Yeah, I definitely lean sub. I think with women I can be a little bit more dominant, but like if I had like a consistent partner, I would want them to be dominant.
Okay.
You know, and then we can like play around with other scenarios and stuff. But like I would want, like, you know.
You wanna wear the mask? You wanna be dominant with me real quick?
with the dog mask, I love it. I haven't seen one with the tongue. That's cute.
we had a dominatrix up here one time, and
no way.
She left the mask. We did some scenarios. I acted like a sub. I'm not a sub nigga at all, 0%. But I acted like a sub. Yeah. I wasn't jacking it too much.
That's okay. But you know what? You got to try. And that's
we didn't
good character, you know?
I tried as much as I could try. Like, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not really get hit in my butt kind of. I'm not really like this area right here is just kind of off limits. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to, you know.
Are you more of like a getting slapped in the face type of?
I like
just because you said this area.
This area. Yeah. I mean, fuck it. I guess if you're gonna say this area, yeah, I like what? What about the feet?
You could like slap people's feet. Have you ever seen that?
Nah.
They use like the canes.
Listen,
you guys know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
They know what I'm talking about.
She's freak. She be knowing that shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Just like I've seen the tutorials.
I got some rough ass feet.
You to catch up.
I got some rough ass feet. That shit might work. I'm not gonna lie. My feet might break the cane, son. Yeah. But were you promiscuous growing up or no?
I was definitely like a late bloomer, you know, like I said, like I never really had like a high school boyfriend or anything like that. But once I started,
you started fucking. When you started fucking,
once I was like, ooh, this for me. I like it here. Yeah, like in college, like I was like a hoe in college.
What's some hoe stories from college?
Hoe stories from college. I mean, it's the most typical one is like you just get drunk and fucking go home with whoever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something like specific though that happened. I don't know. Because I didn't do a lot of group stuff in college. Like, Delhi is a small school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure, like, if you could take callers and, like, you know what I mean? That like, people could tell you some stories about me. But I don't know that I necessarily remember. I don't know.
You was just getting lit and living life.
I was just getting lit, living my best life. I remember there was this one time when I first got there that you couldn't smoke on campus. And so I was, like, going down to this kid's house to smoke and shit. And I had my bong with me. And so I was, like, carrying that down, like, in a bag and whatever. And these other random kids, like, pulled up to me, like, these, like, cute boys. And they were like, oh, we're going, like, what is that? Is that, like, they just made conversation with me, whatever. I ended up going back to their place to smoke. And then they're like, oh, we're going to Albany for this, like, show, this EDM show. Want to come? We have an extra ticket. Pulled up with them, went out there, hooked up with one of the dudes. My friends put out, like, an Amber Alert on me because they couldn't get in touch with me. And I was, like, I don't think I had a phone at the time. I was just, like, fucking
All
sure,
because
I'll come. I'm like, I just gotta go get my sneakers.
Bitch, I put an Amber alert out for you all because you want to be a fucking hoe?
Yeah, they like called my parents and shit. It was like crazy. I'm getting titty fucked in Albany. They had no idea. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Do you like the titty fuck?
I don't know that like my boobs are really big enough to titty fuck, but I like to believe that they are, and so the answer is yes.
My thing is, as long as it can encapsulate, like it doesn't have to necessarily like close.
Yeah.
As long as it can get that friction.
And through the majority, like as long as it's like around the widest part.
Yeah, like I said, as long as you kind of can encapsulate it like a hot dog bun. Like a hot dog bun don't fucking close.
Bun, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily close, but
but it's in there.
It's in there. That shit is in there.
Busy city, yeah.
So, because here's my thing, because I've dealt with a few females that said like titty fucking does nothing for me, whatever. I love that shit personally.
Well, you're the one titty fucking, so
true. Yeah, of course.
You're not getting
so
titties.
You actually do enjoy it?
Well, I enjoy it.
What is the enjoyment for you, though?
So I think the pleasure comes from giving your partner pleasure, and I think it's called like compersion or something like that. Like they use that a lot in like polyamorous conversations. Compersion. It's like you're bringing someone else joy, and that brings you joy. Like you're feeling real pleasure from someone else's pleasure, and it can come from like small things, like to give someone a gift. You make them happy, and that makes you happy. It's the same thing sexually. So it's like, it's the same reason why like I love giving head. Is are my orifices being stimulated? No, but is it erotic? Fuck yeah.
There was a porno called Deep Throat.
I've heard of that one.
Yes. This is it was like I watched a documentary on it when I was really, really young. But this is like apparently like the first porno to kind of like make porn hot, I guess. Like it was an old school. It was like 70s, like 60s type shit or whatever. But the girl's clitoris was located, her G-spot or something was located in her throat.
Bitch, what?
That was the premise of the porn. Remember back in the day.
The premise of the porn.
Remember back in the day we had porn was productions. It was different back then. It was acting and I was gonna ask, how do you feel about? So do you think that there's a difference between porn star and OnlyFans chick?
Yes. I mean, I think inherently they're different jobs. I think that it's the same when you go work for a corporate company versus being an entrepreneur. Like there's just different levels to it. Those girls are like getting hair and makeup, they're getting booked, they have agents, like they're doing professional photo shoots and like fucking for hours, and like there's an expectation of their bodies, and like there's a lot, it's definitely like a hardcore industry. The same way if you're a professional model that works for an agency, just the expectation of you I think is much higher, whereas an independent creator, you do whatever the fuck you want, really.
Would you ever work with like a major production company, or you would just kind of do your own thing?
I mean, it's hard to say. Like if someone approached me today, and it depends on the offer, you know what I mean? If someone approached me today and they're like, hey, yada yada, this and that, like, and it sounded good and the money was good and they had examples of that, I could be interested. My concern would probably be, what's the expectation of me? Like, are my boundaries relevant? Like what level of content do you need, on what basis, type thing, and like what cut do you need, and all that, because like I said, I'm looking for remote independent income. I'm not looking, and I'd rather be at level B and have my freedom than be at level D financially and I'm a slave to somebody.
100%.
So the independence is like huge for me, and it would be a lot of money to buy me out of that.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Has it ever been too much? Like anything? Like what's your limits?
Sexually or with OnlyFans?
Both. Why not?
I mean, they're pretty similar. Like I have a pretty hard no shit and piss rule.
Hold on. Will you do the shitting though when pissing?
If I was getting paid like $10,000,
like if they niggas flew you out to Dubai, no, man, are you going on that Dubai trip?
It depends on the number, but there's a number.
I mean, listen, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm just gonna say this.
Tell me you wouldn't. We all have a number to poop on someone.
Let me.
Some is lower than others.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be real deal Holyfield. If like a random girl hit me up and said, "I'll pay you $50, but I'll full expenses paid trip to Dubai, but I'm making 50 off the top," I might fuck around and do that.
50,000, you said?
$50.
$50.
Are you shitting me? That's a fucking free trip to Dubai, shorty. Yeah. Like, granted,
true,
fine. And because
for me and for one, I would need like a security person too. So now you gotta cover that. I need everything else because I'm not going to Dubai by my fucking self, bitch. I'll never come back.
Can you hire me in security? I'll come.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be involved in the pissing shit. I'll be outside the door like this.
Yeah.
Like, I see the nigga walk, I'll be like, yeah, nigga,
yeah,
you
can
nasty
get me the
motherfucker.
You can get me the street food so that I can really perform.
You ever watch movie 43 or 48?
Nah. Tell me what it is. It sounds like mildly.
It's like a compilation movie.
Of like a bunch of skits and
yes,
shit?
Yes.
That's one with like the little girl getting her period.
Yeah. Remember the Will You Poop on Me? There's a scene.
I remember.
There's a scene in the shit where like they're like loving each other. It's Chris Pratt and someone and I forget the other shorty. She's like in American Pie or whatever.
Anna Faris. The blonde
listen,
one?
I'm gonna tell you the realest shit ever. All them bitches is Hillary Swank to me. All them bitches is Hillary Swank and I don't know. But anyway,
I'm done.
The son from Parks and Rec, whatever his name is, and the other shorty, whatever, they're like having a loving moment, and he's like, yo, she's like, I think we're ready to take our relationship to the next level. He goes, word, I think I'm on the same timing. So let's just say that 1, 2, 3. He goes, will you marry me? This bitch goes, will you poop on me? So now the nigga.
That's also love, though. That's intimacy.
I mean, it ain't the kind of love I'm jacking, but for everyone, everyone got their thing.
Yeah, no kink shaming over here.
Yeah, listen, my whole thing, I don't shame, I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do your thing.
You know what I mean? Love. But in the movie, he's like, long story short, like he couldn't poop in the beginning.
Oh, so he really tries.
How
did I forget this whole plot?
It's amazing. Really he's eating like all these burritos and going nuts, bro, going nuts. He gets to the point where he's about to poop on her and he fucking couldn't do it. And they get into this fight and like she starts to run away and then he runs after her and the car hits him. And the dude just got boom, explosion. And she saw it and was like, oh, this is all for me.
Devastating. It's also devastating.
That is very devastating.
I know.
But very fucking funny movie. You reminded me of it.
I've definitely seen it.
But so you said no shitting and pissing? That's basically
no shitting and pissing. Like I said, I'm not like I can dom. Like I'm not really like a dom in person type girl, but like I can like do the chats and like you know what I mean, like talk to people like sort of in that way and stuff. Like I've had like even like fin doms, which are like dudes who want to be like dominated financially and stuff. But I'm by no means like an experienced person. I'm just I think experienced enough as a sub that like I've heard it and I know how to like relay it or take care of a submissive person in that way, you know?
Do you know how to basically put on different capes for different jobs type shit?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very like, you know, I'm a very authentic person, but like, I'm just not a good bullshitter.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like to a degree, yeah. But like, if I'm not feeling something, like I'm not feeling it. Like I can't do it just for money. Like I have to like be inclined for some reason.
Okay.
You know,
the people that you film with, do you have a personal connection with most of them, or is it like just like we film and
catch you later? So I started OnlyFans last November, so November 2022, and I was approached by a manager initially, an inexperienced manager, but someone who was educating himself about it. He pushed me to do it, motivated me, and then in like March, I think I let him go. And so from last November till probably like September of this year, I was doing only solo stuff. Cause to me, it's sustainable as someone without like a romantic partner who's down to film all the time. I'm not looking to build an audience of people who are relying on partnered content, like me with someone else, for me to not be able to sustain that on my own. Cause it's my paycheck and I want to be able to rely on this income. So my mindset was kind of like, I'll keep doing solo content and then I'll like toss in some like special stuff as time goes on. But then once I got into partner content, I started making way more money. And then I was like, okay, we outside.
You ever have anyone that couldn't perform on camera?
Totally. Yeah.
What's that like? I
mean, I've been in a lot of situations where someone can't perform because they're uncomfortable for whatever reason. There's been like first time scenarios where it's just like the vibe isn't as theirs you thought it was, you know? And it happens. Like I had a threesome recently and like both the dudes like couldn't get fully hard or whatever. Damn. You know, I still had fun though.
On camera or off camera?
Off camera. Yeah, devastating.
Well, but at least it wasn't on camera. At least you ain't really waste your time.
Exactly. But yeah, no, dudes get self-conscious, you know, and I think that they're less likely to acknowledge it in a sexual moment. You know, maybe they'll talk about it with you after if they feel safe with you, but they're like, I feel like a woman will be like, this fucking blanket is itching me. Stop, get this shit out of here. Whereas like a guy will just sort of like eat it and like try to get through it instead of being like, this needs to change so that I can get there, you know?
I could feel that.
Depends on the person, I guess. But.
I remember like in my little experiences doing like, you know, 2 dudes and a girl. I know me standing next to another nigga with our dicks out and the girls doing both of us at the same time.
Yeah.
My dick will not stay hard when I'm foot to foot, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder with another nigga with his dick out. But if we are across the body, I'm, you know what I mean?
You can like, see him over the horizon.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a bridge behind us. You know what I mean? London Bridge behind us. In between us, I mean, it works.
That's interesting to me because I mean, I can't speak on this, but like in my woman logical mind, I would assume that it would be more uncomfortable to be facing the person than it would to be standing shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean?
I kind of just looked down and focused on what I had going on.
Got you.
As opposed to, like I said, I'm shoulder to shoulder, and I feel like I look down
right in your peripheral.
I see a dick in my peripheral. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know?
And you're like lined up, sort of.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I feel, all right, I understand that. Good to know, you know? Maybe this information will come in handy.
Next time, Eiffel Tower me instead.
Yeah, I told him I want to redo anyway. And there was extraneous circumstances that contributed to that
alcohol
situation. Well, the one of them took Adderall, and then
Adderall's supposed to make. Listen, when I don't know about son, but I'm the bottle opener, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I'll tell you this: my little mix, like if I to really Long John Silver, mushrooms and Adderall. Let me tell you something.
Is that the cheat code?
Ask her. Mushrooms and Adderall. She'll be like, all right, this is enough. This is enough.
Why do I want to write this in my notes app?
Listen, shorty, ladies, men, take your notes.
Mushrooms and Adderall. Interesting. I will have to do a little experiment with this.
I don't know. Like females, the female body kind of is like weird to me because like I feel like you guys can kind of just like throw water, spit, lube, natural wetness. Like you can. It's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like. For a man, like, to stay hard,
what are you going to do, strap a chopstick to it?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you got to fucking pump that shit up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I definitely feel you on that. I think that, like, yeah, you can sort of, like, manually lube until you're naturally lubing. Whereas, like, for a guy, it's like you can't, like, fake it till you make it unless you start bringing toys into the bedroom.
Have you ever, like, not to say, like, been forced, but have you ever forced yourself to, like, do this? You wasn't feeling it, but you, fuck it, I'm going to just do it.
I mean, yeah, I very much like to be challenged, you know? So, like, there's scenarios where I'm like, I'm not feeling this, I'm not feeling you, I don't like that one thing you said, or your toenails look weird, or whatever, and I'm like, I'm out of here, you know? Like, things like that happen, but there's also scenarios where it's like, you have to sort of, like, check yourself internally and ask yourself, where is the uncomfortability coming from? Like, am I uncomfortable because I don't want to do this, or am I uncomfortable because I've never done this before and I'm insecure, or maybe I want to do this, but this isn't the right person to do it with, or it's not the right time right now, or whatever, you know? So, like, I've definitely, like, sort of tried to, like, get over it's like I'll have, like, a hesitation and I will push myself past that sometimes, but I try to, like, ask myself why I feel hesitant, you know? And some, like, you know, it's nerve-wracking, you know? Like, for me, like, women intimidate me a lot more than men do. Yeah. Like, I do my thing, but, like, in the grand statistical scheme, like, I'm less likely to approach women. I'm less likely to, you know, go out of my way to, you know what I mean? Like, there's different comfortabilities that I have. And so, you know, in a situation with women, like, maybe it's something I haven't done, or it's new to me, or I'm intimidated by her or something, you know, I'll push past that because I know what I want. I know I'm attracted to her. I know I've been thinking about fucking her. Like, you know, like, why are you hesitant in this moment? But then, like I said, there's other scenarios where it's like, I'm not interested in this. And then it's like, nah, I'm not. Dub.
Do you, when you make your, like, listen, off-camera encounters and shit.
Yeah.
Do you like to know what you're doing before you go and do it?
I mean, I've had both where it's sort of like, we're going to do this, this, and this. And then I've had ones where it's like, this is the general vibe.
Come over. Like, it's just like, come over.
Figure it out. Yeah. So, like, I have a couple scenes, like I said, where it's like, you know, like, we'll talk about, like, the positions we're going to do. We're going to start here. The cameras are here. Like, you know, we'll do this, and this is how we'll finish, you know, type thing. But then there's obviously room for movement because, I don't know, I'm not a professional porn star. I'm not a performer. I'm making essentially like home amateur sex tapes and selling them, you know, and obviously you want like good video quality and stuff like that. But I don't know, authenticity, I guess, is important to me. Like, you know, so.
What's the most rig job shit you ever did with a camera as far as like a fucking selfie stick under or like some weird shit like that?
I mean, most of the shit I do has been with my iPhone and shit. There's been like some GoPro scenarios, a lot GoPro City and shit. I think with one dude, we like taped the camera to like a lamp or something like that. Yeah, to get like the right angle on the bed and shit, because we had like one across and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a lot of amateur stuff, you know. But I like that. It's sort of like this like bootstrap operation or whatever the phrase is.
Listen, I mean, you see how we getting down.
You make it happen, and over time you get better. If I look at my first video to now, it's you know, wildly different. You know, so you got to start somewhere.
Do you edit? Do you fucking one shot? Or like, do you edit your videos like on like a cap cut or like a iMovie or some shit?
I would say it's like somewhere in between. So I'm not totally posting like the raw footage. You know, like I will like sort of clip some up and stuff, but for the most part, like I leave like those big chunks in there of like us having to like readjust or, you know, checking the camera or something. Like I'll leave those little moments in there because I think it's real for people. And you have to ask yourself, like, why are people on OnlyFans when there's all this unlimited free porn on Reddit and Pornhub and Xvideos and like all these places? Why do people come to OnlyFans and spend money, you know? And I think a lot of it is that personal experience. You feel like you're getting a look into their personal life. You feel like you're closer to the person and that you have this sort of access to them. That's what people pay for.
It's funny because that was the original purpose of OnlyFans, was like, you know how like you watch like fucking like wrestling? I'd be like, for more exclusive content, go to WWE.com.
Yeah, it's like Patreon or however you pronounce it. Yeah.
It's just crazy how, you know, it started as this and then it morphed into like the now new like #1 porn platform. You know what I mean?
And
like
I think COVID had a big to do with that. It like exploded, and now it's like exclusively porn, I feel like.
You said you started it last year, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't get to experience when they like temporarily like shut it down, remember?
No, yeah, I wasn't a part of that. I was in a relationship at that time, so.
You being, you know, in the lifestyle and being a little lit and promiscuous and shit. You ever dealt with a dude with a girlfriend?
What do you mean, like?
As far like you knew he was cheating on his girl?
I knew
like,
he was cheating.
Were you ever the side piece?
So, I mean, I'm sure I have, statistically speaking, been the side piece probably more times than I'll ever know. But so you're saying like as on a personal level, like in my personal life, have I been the side piece? Yeah. I'm sure I have. I personally avoid it. Like to me, it's like if we're casual, I'm not the type of girl that's gonna like search your whole life. I do like one preliminary when I meet you, Facebook, Instagram,
What's
Twitter, whatever, check it out, look it over. If I don't see anything, I probably won't look into it again unless I'm like, you know, there's something that happens or whatever. And to me, it's like, if it's casual and I don't see it on that first check, it's none of my business, you know? And I'm not someone who's like, oh, I'm going to look the other way. Like if there's evidence, I'm out. So keep it tight. It has nothing to do with me. You know, I'm not going to go looking for shit, but like I'm not going to participate in that because I've been cheated on and I don't want to be like an asshole.
What do you do now if you get like approached by a female? Oh, you're fucking my man.
If that like if a bitch was like, oh, you're fucking my dude, I'd be like, I don't talk to your man. Like,
who's that?
What do you mean?
No, you'd be like, who's that?
Exactly.
Tom? Who's that? Never heard of him.
I don't know. I'm forthright. I'm like, keep your shit clean or like leave me out of it. I don't do like the I'm gonna like cover for you or this and that drama, like screenshots blocking each other. I don't participate in any of that, or I do my fucking best to not participate in any of that stuff. So if a girl hit me up and was like, you're fucking my dude, whatever, I'd probably screenshot it, send it to him, tell her what's going on, and block the both of them. Like, stay away from me because you're drama. Like, and I don't need that in my life. There's plenty of people who are open, you know, who are even in relationships and are cool with it. Or single people who are forthright. Like, I don't need to deal with the, you know, hurting each other, you know? Like, if you want to fuck other people, tell your partner. Tell your partner. I had a dude who I was hooking up with. It was a guy who I actually knew from college. And we were hooking up when he was single. And then he was in a relationship. I was in a relationship for a while, and then me and my ex broke up. And then he was hitting me up while he was still with his girl, talking about like whatever, like no one sucks my dick like you do and all that bullshit. And I'm like, cool. If you want to sleep with women and you feel like XYZ isn't satisfied and she's not interested in that, like, you know, it's just not her thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Talk to your partner. That's an opportunity to like communicate with them and share with them and be like, hey, this is how I feel, like I want to share this with you, you know, as opposed to like isolating that person, lying to them when you can literally either talk to them or break up with them, you know, and there's plenty of people doing it these days. If you don't know how to have that conversation, fucking YouTube it. You know what I mean? Go tell your girl, like she probably doesn't care as much as you. If you come to her and you're like earnest and you're like, this is how I feel. You know,
you seen the Tristan Thompson shit? He said every time I cheat, I feel. What did he say? I feel like less of a man or some dumb shit. What did he say? Yeah, he said, "Yo, that shit had me crying."
I'm bored.
You know, every time I cheat, I feel like it breaks me down.
Every time I bust nuts and bitches that aren't my wife, oh, does it hurt me? Fuck you, dude.
Bro.
Tell her or fucking break up with her. But then also at that point too, it's like, what behavior are you accepting? You know, you're essentially training him how to treat you, you know, and if you accept that shit over and over again, like it's going to continue to happen.
I don't necessarily, I think that as a man, everyone's entitled to mistakes. You know what I mean? Not entitled, but mistakes happen. You know what I mean? But you have to genuinely want to change.
Yeah.
And you have to even put forth blockers, you know what I mean? Put forth like,
yeah.
Like I said, get better than yesterday. Every day you got to get better than yesterday. And if yesterday I needed to set forth this thing, you know what I'm saying, to keep my focus on here, I'm going to do that because I want to be in this thing. I want, you know what I mean? It's all about really wanting to do it.
And I think it's part communication. It's like you need to be able to control yourself. You know, you need to be able to go out and go drinking and, you know, respect the boundaries that you and your partner set for each other and stuff, and like have that be, you know, really important to you and stuff. That comes from having a partner that respects you, you know, and then also communicating, because I think when someone cheats, it's usually because there's something that they need, whether they're struggling, they're stressed with this and they feel like they can't talk to you, or whatever reason. There's usually some sort of like underlying thing, I feel like, that pushes someone to do that, like some level of unhappiness. You should you should have been talked to them about it.
I don't think it's necessarily always unhappiness. I think some men, it's ego. You know what I mean? Some men, you know what I mean? Like some men, it's immaturity. You know what I mean?
But isn't that unhappiness to a degree, though? It's like if you feel like you need to do it for your ego to, like, you know, feel good about yourself, you know, it's
I guess you would.
It's to combat some sort of negative emotion that you're having, you know?
True. What's a weird quality in a dude you like?
I like a little bit of crackhead energy.
Like you like a crackhead?
Not a full, just a pinch of crackhead energy.
Well, can you give explanation behind crackhead energy?
So like if you are going to like a concert or something and then like they don't let you in and he's like, let's hop the fucking fence.
That's fire.
You know what I mean? Like I want someone who, and that's like a small, you know, example or whatever, but like that sort of energy where it's like a little bit chaotic. Like we're responsible adults, but like we also fucking maybe get a little crazy sometimes.
Anything embarrassing? Like any embarrassing traits you like though? Like
embarrassing traits.
Broke boy, short.
To be
little like, meat.
No small dicks. Sorry. To be honest, like I like I said, like the height thing doesn't matter to me much. And to be honest, money doesn't really either. Like I was just seeing this kid. I just cut him off like a month ago or something. I wasn't seeing him that long, and he was broke as shit. No car, not, you know, or like he has a car but no license, so he can't drive it. Like working at a fucking, he's like 40 or something, working at a fucking gyro place or whatever. But he put it down, and he was nice to me, and he treated me the way I want to be treated until he didn't, and then I kicked him to the fucking curb. But there's also, you know, I've also dated dudes who have, like, all the fancy shit and pay for everything and do all of this shit, and I get sick of them, too. So it's like, I'm not gonna, like, not give someone a chance because of their, like, financial situation or their circumstances. I've been down and out. I've been broke. I've been a mess. I've been, you know, but it depends on, like, your character. To me, and if you're the type of partner that I need, you accept me and support me, and you know, and the sex is fire, and you know, we treat each other the way we want to be treated, and we're happy. I'm not gonna like give that up because, you know, you're having a hard time financially right now. But there also comes a level of like, what are you doing about it? You know, like it's cool temporarily.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
You want a man to grow.
Yeah. And I'll support you, and that's fine. I'm not saying, oh, the day we meet, you better start working. You know what I mean? But we all go through seasons, and I'm cool with that. But like, what's your plan? What are you doing? Are you taking this time to better yourself? Are you planning what's next? Or what are your goals? Or, you know, are you going to go, you know, like you can tell someone's intentions. You can tell someone who's just like you were saying earlier, like has just settled in life sort of. And you can tell when someone is like, oh, this is just a season that I'm going through.
In your off camera life, how often are you, one, making people get tested, and two, going raw?
I go raw pretty often, but I also get tested like every 2 weeks, and it's like screenshots. Like people send me their screenshots of them getting tested. It's a lot of trust. You know what I mean? So like in my roster, I have like of like my personal people that I sleep with, I probably have like 1 or 2 guys that I'll go raw with. The rest I use condoms with, and especially too because I need to be extra careful because I'm testing with people, or I'm shooting with people. Yeah. And now this is like a profession. It's not just my personal life, which obviously no matter what you're doing, you should always be safe and go and get tested as much as possible, as much as you can. There's like resources in most communities to go do that. It's super important. You know, or be on prep if you're, you know, promiscuous or like messing with, you know, dudes who mess with other dudes and stuff. You know, it's good to be educated because a lot of people don't know about that stuff. You know, so I literally got tested like 2 days ago because I have a bunch of shoots coming up. So
what's better to you, porn star dick or on the street dick?
That's a tough question. I don't know that I've really had like porn star dick.
Okay, well, fair enough.
You know,
Yeah,
like
fair enough.
the OnlyFans, like I have like OnlyFans.
All right, fine. Let me rephrase that. OnlyFans, getting dick on OnlyFans or getting dick on the street?
On the street, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like the best of both worlds. Because you can like film a little bit, and then you can also just like sort of, you know, be free and not have to be like, where's the camera, where's the angle, you know what I mean? Like, you know, type shit. Exactly. Like the lighting and, oh no, my battery died, and like, you know, all that stuff. Because there is like logistical shit that can like ruin a moment or whatever, you know? So probably street dick. Yeah, final answer.
What's your favorite part of shooting a scene?
My favorite part of shooting a scene? Like sexually or just...
Well, any I mean, aspect of it.
The cum shot, probably. I think I have a bit of a cum fetish.
Are you a freak? Okay.
Yeah. I told you my boundaries are no piss and shit. That should have been the first giveaway.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because that's literally everything else.
Are you embellishing when you be on camera sometimes?
I mean, I think there's like a little level of like, can the microphone hear me? You know what I mean? But besides that, not really. No. Have
you ever been involved in race play?
No. And it weirds me out.
What if like you found a nigga, like, you know what I mean? He's willing to pay that bag, but he wants you to play massa.
I don't know about all that. See, I even feel uncomfortable with the whole like white cuck black bull thing. Like that even gets a little weird for me because I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, like, where is this coming from? You know what I mean? Or even like the reverse of it. It's like, you know, it's just a lot for me. And it's not a situation I've ever physically participated in, but even it makes me uncomfortable to like sort of go through that dynamic in like a sex chat or something. Because I do like private chats with people and stuff. And like, if that's kind of where they're at, it's like the same thing with like age play, like to a degree, but I'm not going to go too deep into this probably.
Do you ever do because you're tall, the height domination thing?
A lot of dudes are into the tall thing. Yeah.
Come here, you little short, stubby fuck.
Exactly. My little son. My little bitch. Yeah. You're a good little boy. Yeah.
Ah, okay. There we go. Listen, I'll put that mask on right now. Don't play with me, girl.
Yeah.
We can do a scene right now. End scene. Boom. See, do you do the foot thing too? Are you into sucking toes?
I'll suck toes.
Oof.
I'll suck toes if someone else is into sucking toes. Like, I don't personally have a foot fetish, but I like when the other person has a foot fetish. Does that make sense?
Well, no.
You know? So, like, if you want to suck my toes, I'm all about it. Like, my feet, like, I love it. Probably won't ask for it, but I love it. And, like, I've licked my share of feet as well. I've sucked my fair share of toes. 100%.
Is there ever too big?
Dick-wise?
Yes.
No. I think when I was younger, yeah. I think the older I've gotten, I have become more of like a size queen.
You're like on a quest to find the biggest meat?
In like a really passive way. You know what I mean? I'm not like desperate or anything, but like...
Is there any men you know of that you would like love to shoot with?
I mean, I definitely like you, like by name, probably not, but like... Yeah, I would love to do like a professional male porn star, like that like dungeon level like gangbang where they're all in like the black t-shirts. That would be sick. Yeah, with like Johnny Sims and like fucking Adam
Johnny
22
Sims.
and like all that shit. Yeah, that like real hardcore shit. But the thing is emotionally I feel this way, but physically, can I handle it? You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's nice to fantasize about things, but like you never know in the moment, like what you're actually going to find enjoyable, you know? But yeah, that's like bucket list.
Okay.
For sure.
Adam 22, Johnny Sins, gangbang.
Yeah. There's more. I just don't know your names. I don't Google your names. I just Google your videos. But I can put
she
some
just types in
screenshots up or something.
BDC.
I'll follow up with you after that. And you can like do like a list, like a scrolling.
Sinna's
thing.
tears.
Yeah. Anyone, please.
That's fucking jokes. But before we get up out of here, I just you have anything to say to the people? Any message you want to give?
Yeah, where am I looking?
This is you right here.
All right, what's up? My name's Sinna. I'm on OnlyFans. I do all type of content. It's a kink-friendly community. $3 to sub to come check it out all the time. No limit, no time frame. Yeah. You're going to have a good
Bust
time.
Bust it open.
You're going to bust nuts.
Sinna.
You're going to bust nuts. That's my mission
Sinna. Who left the keys to my bimmer?
Who am I?
That guy's damn sugar. But, listen. Where can we find you? 61 Shorty on the gram?
Yes, so it's 61 Shorty on the gram. Sinna's Asylum, I think, on Twitter, OnlyFans, Snapchat. But yeah, 61 Shorty's the main gram ski over there. Yeah.
Yo, listen. Follow the girl. Get your nuts off. Maybe you can be a part of it.
Hit me up. I'll be over there.
Probably not. Nah, I mean, you got to get next to her. Nah, I mean, but you got to get next to her. But listen, man. Cat, bring us up out of here, man.